Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and I hope you're all doing well. Today, as always, we've got a couple of quick-fire news stories to get through in the world of tech and PC gaming. First up, we have a couple of topics concerning Borderlands 3 and a statement that was issued by Gearbox, and also we have another high CPU usage bug from Microsoft, and in other news, water is wet. But first, today's video is brought to you by LevelKey.com, where you can save money on games for all of your favorite platforms, as well as software like Windows 10 Pro for under $16, Microsoft Office 2016 for $33, and Microsoft Office 2019 Professional Plus for under $70. And if you use my code PDS22 at checkout, you could save yourself 22% off of your Windows 10 Pro key, or you can get 3% off of the entire website with the code PDS3, or 16% off with PDS16 for any software over there, so be sure to check out the links down in the description below. So as I said, first up, we're going to be talking about Gearbox, as they have issued a statement over on Twitter concerning Borderlands 3, which I think as of right now is probably the most controversial game to come out in 2019 on the PC in regards to optimization, DRM, Epic Store exclusivity, all of that stuff that everyone is pretty much hating on Borderlands 3 right now, notwithstanding the things that we've already talked about with de novo DRM and the possibility of it using a keylogger and caning your upload bandwidth at 2 megabit per second if you're using EchoCast. So yeah, it's been not without its controversies as of launch, even though a lot of people seem to like the actual game itself. Unfortunately, the PC version has just been mired in all of this bullshit because of really mostly the publishers, of the game, and, forcing de novo DRM down, buyers' throats, forcing this timed exclusivity on the Epic Store. So it's just been covered in shit since day one, and that's why a lot of people are hating on it right now. Of course, there are some people that don't really care about this stuff, and they just like, oh, I like Borderlands, I'm playing the game, and I enjoy it. I've personally uninstalled it off of my system until a later date when de novo is removed or something like that, and they can improve the game, because it's also had a host of bugs as well. So before we get into that, let's take a look at the statement from Gearbox, which unfortunately doesn't address exactly what they're going to be working on specifically, but we can at least talk about what they said over here. So on the Gearbox official page, they said, "Thank you for all of your continued enthusiasm and support. We want Borderlands 3 to be the best game possible and are actively monitoring your feedback. We are working on performance and quality of life improvements, and we'll have more to share soon at Borderlands.com." So it is good that they're at least listening to feedback. Hopefully that means they're listening to some of the complaints about de novo DRM and some of the performance issues that some people have seen with the game. Now, I did my initial round of testing where I saw the GPUs scale pretty well in that game as long as you're willing to tweak some options, but it definitely didn't cover the entire scope of the PC gaming community, as I tested on an 8700K, and other people have reported issues on, using a little bit older systems where maybe memory or CPU restrictions come into play. There have been reports over on Reddit where anytime you're running less than 10 threads for a CPU, that it will pretty much stutter all of the time. If you are running like a quad core or even quad core with hyper threading, if you played Borderlands 3, please leave a comment down below. I'm curious to see how many people are actually experiencing that issue, as it's popped up on Reddit quite a bit. So it seems like people with quad cores might have some issues running Borderlands 3. I personally didn't test with a quad core. I was using an 8700K because we try to, at least when doing GPU testing, I try to eliminate any sort of CPU bottlenecks. So that didn't really take into account running the game on a quad core. So if that is an issue that is coming up with the game, that is definitely not good. So hopefully that is something that they address with the performance optimizations that they addressed in their statement. Other things they said in there is quality of life, which can mean, a whole host of things. It could just mean simplicity of playing the game and accessing certain features in the game world, menus, whatever, inventory systems. It can really mean a whole lot of things. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go ahead and remove de novo DRM or anything like that, so soon. But, I guess we can really hope at the end of the day. It was reported also that in the past 24 hours, there was a hotfix issued for the save game bug, which you can see over here on Guru 3D, which lists all of these different things that you could have done to circumvent it to begin with. And I did actually experience the same game issue, which probably won't affect that many people. It really only would have affected you if you were trying to play the game on multiple systems. But I don't even actually blame Borderlands in this regard. I actually blame Epic because of how shit their initial implementation of cloud saves is working. So Basically what happened was I played the game for about an hour on my main PC here, and then I went to go switch over to my test setup and benchmark the game, at which point the cloud saves did not sync with my other setup because I never got the prompt on screen for it, and it ended up starting over a new save, and then when I came back to my other system, it did sync the cloud save from the other system, so it basically wiped out my entire single-player story, which, as I said, I only played about an hour, but it was frustrating because in the beginning there's like probably a good 20 plus minutes of cutscenes that you cannot skip, and I just wanted to get footage for the benchmarking video. And yeah, so I ended up having to sit through all of that again, and of course, you know, that's just, I didn't have that much of an issue with it, but, you know, for some people that could have played the game 5-6 hours, and maybe they go play on a friend's PC to show them the game at their house, and then, oh my god, guess what? Your entire save file is completely wiped because of the cloud saving issue with Epic. And yeah, the cloud saving, they didn't have even just a few months ago. The Epic Store didn't even have cloud saving a couple months ago, like Steam has had for years, and other applications have had for years for PC gamers. They didn't even have cloud saves, so I guess it's good that they have it now, but as we have found evidently with Borderlands 3, it's completely broken, and you could potentially lose your entire save if you try to play the game on multiple systems. But according to Guru 3D, a hotfix is now available that addresses the bug, so hopefully this will not be an issue moving ahead in the future, but I honestly wouldn't get my hopes up in anything regarding the Epic Game Store and working properly. Speaking of things not working properly, we have another Windows 10 bug which is causing high CPU usage, and I just want to get out in front of this right now and say this is probably not going to affect that many of you. It's really only going to affect you if you use like Chinese language on your PC. So I realize that most people watching this video probably not affecting you, but you know, it is an issue that has come up, and again, it's just another, you know, thing with Windows 10 because they fired their entire QA team a few years back and basically made us, the community, you know, the Windows 10 testers. We are the unpaid QA team of Windows 10, which kind of explains why they gave it to us for free to begin with, but now they're charging for it, so I don't really appreciate, you know, being Microsoft's quality assurance and not even being paid for it, and if anything, I'm actually penalized for using Windows 10 because the only reason I got Windows 10 was to play games in DirectX 12, and the vast majority have been broken, honestly, you know, except for like a couple of games. So I barely ever use DirectX 12 in any of the games I play unless it's mandated, but in some games like UWP titles, it's actually been pretty good, like Forza, Gears of War. So with those games, it's actually been really good, but it seems like other games that try to use different engines, I'm getting off topic here. Getting off topic, complaining about Windows 10, but yeah, this CPU usage bug is present, has not been actually patched yet, but basically it says that if you're using basically the input method editor, and it specifically targets the Chinese language inputs that you could be using on your keyboard. I'll have a link to all the sources down in the description below, so if you want to go over to the story, if you happen to be using Chinese language on your PC, there's a fix on there that you can easily do on the system yourself until Microsoft themselves actually patch it. So you can go ahead and do that. As I said, it'll be down in the description with all the other sources. So head on over to the source of this, which was DSOG, as they do have a fix listed in there that you can go ahead and apply. But that is all that I've got for you guys today on Borderlands 3 and the debacle that is Windows 10 and all of the bugs that keep coming along with that. I'm sure it won't be long before another bug crops up, as we were just talking about one yesterday with the audio bug, and here's another one again today. It's just it seems like every other day or every other week, there's another gigantic bug with Windows 10 that either affects security or gaming performance or audio issues or just you name it. They just come all the time, and it's almost like we just expect it at this point for something to break in Windows 10 because it's a complete and utter shit show. And yeah. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I look forward to your guys' feedback, opinions, and comments below as always. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it. Subscribe if you're not already, and if you've been here for a while, consider ringing that notification bell. That way you never miss a moment of content as soon as it goes up live here on the channel. And I'll see you all tomorrow for another video.